Hello there YouTubers, and welcome to another DrCassette video. What you can see here is the Marantz Audion Model D-25 cassette deck. I got this cassette deck back in 2008, in the spring of 2008. I found it at the dump and it was completely working. Only thing it needed was a good cleaning. The previous owners must have stored this cassette deck in the shed or garage or basement, or maybe even outside in the garden, because it was just full with crap. It's still working after all the time. The grease in the mechanism is getting a little bit hard, as it seems. If you haven't used it in a long time, it's very hard to press the buttons. That disappears if you've pressed the buttons a couple of times. And, I guess it also needs some new belts. It's getting a little bit slow in rewind. Let's zoom in on this cassette deck. I want to show you how this looks. We get a tape counter and microphone inputs and headphone output. This is the mechanism. Total shut off. Which needs a long time to work. Super hard permalloy head, typical Marantz. All their cassette deck back then had that. This cassette deck was made in 1978, by the way. And down there you get your basic function buttons. There we have some nice VU meters. We get two record level regulators down there, and there in the middle of the picture we get a record LED and the tape selector for normal, special and ferrochrome. So you can read over there. Special of course means chrome, and over there we also get a Dolby noise reduction. Down in that corner we have the power switch, and unfortunately, as you can see, it's a little bit broken off in the corner there. Now I want to demonstrate how this thing recorded voice. I'm going to play a cassette for you, and we're going to hook up this cassette deck directly to the camera so that you can hear it as good as possible. And after the voice recording, I'm going to demonstrate music. I'm going to play some songs on this cassette deck, but, the cassette I'm going to play was not recorded using this cassette deck, unfortunately. It is a music that shouldn't have any copyright problems going on, so that's why I'm using it. So, here we go. Let's start the voice recording. I'm now recording on the Marantz Audion Model D-25 cassette deck. Now, you have already noticed this is not a real Marantz, even though it was made by Marantz in Japan. This was produced for the Rosita company here in Germany. Rosita was producing cabinets and furniture for hi-fi equipment, and they were also selling complete sets where you get a nice piece of furniture all together with hi-fi equipment built in. Now, they featured various different brands, German brands such as Telefunken and Dual. All of their furniture systems had a dual record player on top. They also had Japanese brands such as Sony or Marantz, and for their cheaper setups they had their own brand called Audion. Now, as it seems, they wanted to have some sort of a cheap deluxe setup. So they asked Marantz if they could make a cheaper version of a stereo system. And since Marantz didn't want to have their name all alone standing on such a cheap thing, they also printed the Rosita brand Audion onto there. So that's how you got a Marantz Audion stereo system. They did not, of course, they did not only had this cassette deck. There was also an amplifier and a tuner. And all this basically was Marantz equipment, just a bit cheaper. For example, they replaced the high-quality metal faceplate with an all-plastic faceplate. And I think also internally this is a lot cheaper. Now this was not only available as Marantz Audion, this was also sold as Super Scope, the whole stereo system. And so this is quite an interesting story behind this thing. And yeah, so that was a voice recording on this nice cassette deck. So, there you have it, some music on the Marantz Audion Model D-25 cassette deck. I hope you enjoyed this video and see you again soon.